a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Well, if that's how it's going to be, it's going to be tough to beat the Lakers. If that Anthony Davis shows up, that guy from, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, that guy who was dominant, that guy who last night went for 30 and 23 and took over, if that guy is going to be the one who shows up, that we're going to go 3 or 4 players deep before we mention LeBron James played in the game, it's going to be a hell of a series. Could be tough to beat. Good morning to you. Merry Wednesday. It is the opening drive. Jeff Sabieta, J.J. Buck, A. Marie on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal. Lakers beat the Warriors game 1 in San Francisco last night, 117-112. LeBron had 22. Steph Curry had 27. Klay Thompson had 25. But it was all about the guy with one eyebrow, Anthony Davis, 30 points, 23 blocks, and dominant. What's up?
What I want to know, Jeff,
Yeah.
is did Jordan Poole yell Curry as he took that final shot from deep, or it's Jordan Poole time?
I don't think he yelled anything, first of all. Now, what did he think? Do you hate the shot? You hate it because it didn't go.
Right when it left his hand, I
Yep.
didn't like the shot.
Did you not want him to take it? Did you think he was able to get closer and get a better shot?
I didn't
what
want
did
him
you
taking that shot.
You wanted it to be Steph Curry, even though there were 3 dudes on him.
That's 10 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Call timeout.
They did have 2 timeouts, and Steve Kerr said, I thought about it, but they moved the ball around. Steph did a great job of getting it out of the double team, and Jordan's wide open, and he can make that shot.
Which is fine. You have to have that belief because you paid that dude $160 million.
Yep. So you hate that shot, and that's
right in
okay.
the moment I did. Right when it left his hand.
How do you feel now?
I feel the same way, right? It's like it's Steph made the right play, but I didn't think that I didn't like the shot. Even if it went in, it would have just been like an oh my gosh moment.
It would have been an oh my gosh moment because what were they? They went on a 12-0 run. They were down big and go on that run to get back in it. Look, were you entertained?
Very much so.
I mean,
Very
right?
much so.
Were you entertained by that one? And I think we're going to get 6 to 7 of those, and it was something. All right, we're here for you today. And what did you think of it last night? Warriors, Lakers, hell of a game last night. 117-112. You can get in on the Knicks 111-105 win over the Jimmy Butler-less Heat to tie that series at 1 game apiece. 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery hotline. It is also the Sports Animal text line. Emails will come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Twitter _JJ Buck. A. Marie's handle is at part-time bro. Hey Marie, what'd you think of that one last night? Did you hate the shot as much as JJ did? I don't love it either.
I didn't love it, but also just from start to finish that game, I just couldn't take my eyes off the TV.
Right.
And the first couple minutes is like miss shot. It was just nonstop transition, fast pace. I was like, this is going to be awesome. Or I'm looking forward to this series now. I'm excited.
All right. Well, now that you're in, I think we're all going to get hooked on this one. This is it's fantastic television. It's fantastic.
It feels like people still were not sure what to think of the Lakers. Even
Totally.
after beating Memphis the way they did in the first round, I think there was still a lot of in the moment. We just watched Steph score 50 in Game 7. It feels like, and maybe I'm talking for myself as well, there wasn't a lot of trust in who these Lakers are. Like, what is this team really going to be? Okay, they're in the second round, but it's the Golden State Warriors. And they did something to Golden State, specifically Steph Curry, I haven't seen done in a while. Like, Jared Vanderbilt made life on Steph tough. There was a point in that game he had 10 points, 4 turnovers. He can't score in the lane in this series.
So I think there's a thing about consistency with the Lakers, right? People are a little bit cautious, a little loath to completely buy in. If their big two stay healthy, JJ, they're as good as anybody.
I was going to say that when it's all about healthy, I've never seen this healthy of a Lakers team. Maybe the asterisk people say in 2020, but I've never. That's why people don't trust them, because they can't stay healthy.
So what Rob Pelinka did, their general manager at the halftime, at the trading deadline, the move to get out of the Westbrook deal, but what he got back when you start, and JJ, you've mentioned D'Angelo Russell so many times. I'm glad you mentioned Jared Vanderbilt, because I think he has been an insanely good piece. Rui Hachimura only had 6 points in 11 minutes last night, but there's been Rui Hachimura games. The Mayo Mamba, like Reeves is a really, really, like, if you haven't watched him, he's terrific. This isn't just like their newest Caruso or whatever. Like, he's really good. Their roster, what they did when they reset, it was so basketball savvy, I think. I mean, dare I say, they're good enough to win this, especially as wide open as you made it clear yesterday, and you're not wrong, as wide open as everything is, they're absolutely, if they stay healthy, they still got that dude who's going to have special moments in LeBron James. If Anthony Davis is that guy, like
Because it's his team now. It's Anthony Davis's team.
I don't know if I'll go
It's
that far.
100% his team.
Yeah.
He was the most dominant player on that floor. What he does defensively, offensively, Golden State can't stop him. This isn't Sabonis. This isn't Kevon Looney going out there and dominating inside. Anthony Davis is dominating inside. And it's one game, but it was a statement game for the Lakers because Jared Vanderbilt was on Curry's hip like a pager. And when Jared Vanderbilt was out of that game, guess what the Warriors did? They went on that run to tie the game. So it's there. The Splash Brothers are going to make their shots, but this is a matchup that Curry's going to have to work extra hard in to get his shots up. And I love what the Lakers did defensively. And Anthony Davis, there's a reason that the Lakers did not listen to anyone else. And we're talking, it's that trade Anthony Davis. He's not healthy. You can't trust him because that dude legitimately is top 5 player in the world when he's on the floor like that.
It's just not often enough, and that's what happens. But let's be very clear. And who was I having this conversation with yesterday about the NBA's regular season, right? Who cares? Who cares?
Been on the floor in the postseason.
2/3 of the teams make it into the postseason. Okay, they had to play an extra game to get into the tournament, and nobody wants them. And so I'm not ready to say it's his team. I mean, look, when LeBron's there, it's still LeBron's team. It's still LeBron. And it doesn't matter whose damn team it is. It really doesn't. Does it? They need
because it's a focal point. This is to me a little bit like LeBron in Miami, and LeBron is the Dwayne Wade right now, where this is still a really good player, and he's pulling the strings and the tone setter. That's the leader. LeBron James is the leader, but the dude that makes this team go is Anthony Davis.
I guess I need to see it more than just 1 or 2 times. I need to see it on a regular, consistent basis now that they're going to play every other night. I'm not there yet. But, again, it doesn't matter to me because that team is clicking. And I mean, who's your favorite to win it all right now? Go through it. Is it Philly? Is it the Knicks? Is it Denver? Like, tell me why anybody's going to beat them if they play that way. Tell me how Denver is better than them when they play like that.
Because Anthony Davis is the guy that you can match Jokic, you can match Joel Embiid, and no one outside of those 2 players, no one has a forward that can match Anthony Davis.
Is Anthony Davis better on the offensive end or the defensive end?
Defensive end.
Maybe. And
wow. And this dude is still scoring 30 points, but it's what we've seen out of him so far this postseason. We look at it, he's averaging 22, 15, and 4.3 blocks.
The Warriors had 3 dudes who hit at least 6 3-pointers yesterday. I don't know that that's ever been done with Poole, Klay Thompson. And Klay played well. Klay had, 25? And Steph had 27, to your point. Had to work for everything. Kevon Looney had 23 rebounds. Not enough. This is going to be a tough one for them because of matchups, right? Everybody tells you styles make fights. They're right. And the Lakers, their style is going to be a tough fight for Golden State. There's some highlights for you on our simulcast if you're watching on ProView Networks. All right, here's what we got, and a ton for you today. 505-246-0610 if you want to play radio with us. Come on in, and I want to hear what you have to say about the Lakers and the Warriors last night. You can get in on the Knicks and the Heat. We'll go through the NBA. We're going to talk college athletics at 8:30 this morning. The league meetings continue. It's football coaches who were in Scottsdale this morning and having their league meetings for the Mountain West. And, there's so much talk about expansion and realignment and everything else. So coming up at 8:30 this morning, John David Wicker, J.D. Wicker, the athletic director at San Diego State, is going to be with us. They, of course, still fresh off of that insane run to the Final Four, and they are right there at the eye of the storm in regards to the rumors on realignment. I'm not sure JD's going to sit here and say, yep, we're out or we're not or whatever, but I I think the perspective, JJ, don't you, from where JD sits in regards to all the issues we talked with Eddie Nunez yesterday, NIL and portal and television and all that stuff. I think JD's perspective is certainly worth listening to, don't you?
Of course. Just went to the national championship game.
Yep. So that's
got
what we're
something
gonna
to talk about.
Yeah, it was good to spend some time with him last night, so we'll absolutely do that. That's coming up at 8:30. When we come back, we're going to continue on Lakers and Warriors, and a guy out of the Mountain West, a guy that you used to watch in the pit, had one hell of a game for the Heat and damn near helped them pull this out. Without Jimmy Butler, that's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mix.
Pitch. There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, LaCueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As LaCueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one's hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the LaCueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports.
If not with me, with yourself. You heard Jimmy Butler wasn't playing yesterday. Now, did you give Miami a chance?
No.
No.
When you looked up with a minute 15 to go and they're right there, kind of surprised, weren't you?
Yes.
Miami can win this series if he's healthy. And I know everybody's on the Knicks, and the Knicks, I keep hearing, are a way better squad and way better overall. I've told you this before, and I just firmly believe this. They're prepared, Miami is, every time. Eric Spoelstra is a really good coach. He gets the most out of guys like, dare I say, former Mountain West player Caleb Martin. Did you think Martin had 22 and 8 last night? He led Miami in Madison Square Garden and almost led him to an upset. When he came out of Nevada, when him and his brother, the twins, came out, and maybe you didn't know the difference, you couldn't remember which one you thought was better, but they were really good, and that was that really good Eric Musselman team that got him the job at Arkansas. Did you think he was this good, that he was going to be this good of an NBA player?
I think once you saw him in the rotation early in his career, yes.
But when he came out, like right out of college, because I thought he'd be a nice piece. He's a pretty nice piece.
Very good rotation player. And that's the Miami Heat. Everything about them is solid.
Mm-hmm.
And last night I was just sitting there going, they have it. Whatever it is, as a team, they have it. And Jimmy Butler just magnifies it for them. Because there's no way that they should have been up by 6 midway through the fourth quarter.
Right.
With the Knicks, Julius Randle back, Jalen Brunson, thank you for showing up in the second half. And here they are, the Miami Heat, with the lead because they're just locked in everywhere.
Jalen Brunson was big in the second half. Knicks finished the game on a 24-12 run. Okay, getting Julius Randle back was big. R.J. Barrett played well in the second half. And so the game should be about the Knicks, and it is, right? They haven't been to the Eastern Conference Finals since 2000. They're trying to advance. They've got their fan base excited. People love their path because they got the 8th seed. They got through a Cleveland team that, for whatever reason, didn't show up. Now they're playing an 8th seed. The 1 seed's been eliminated, and they'll let the Sixers and the Celtics beat up on each other. Like, they love their path. And there's a lot to love about their path, by the way. Getting Julius Randle back was a big deal. He went 25 and 12. Hart was good, 14 and 11 for them. And then Brunson's the key, man. Brunson, 30 points because they didn't get anything off the bench. They got, 12 points off the bench last night total. So this is going to be about what they get out of their starting 5. And I think in most cases it's not like the Heat got a whole bunch off the bench either, but they were playing without one of their starters. So they go back down to Florida. Who's your favorite in this series? Is it the Knicks just because they're theoretically the better team, or do you like the grit of Miami? Because there's part of me that if Jimmy Butler can go, if that ankle's good, I love Miami here.
It's with Miami for me, Jimmy Butler on the floor, and it doesn't sound serious. Yeah, it's a turned ankle, and that's going to get you a couple days. And these dudes with their ankles, we take it for granted in basketball. Like, just come on back a few days later. That's a question mark. But if Jimmy Butler can go at a high level, I like the Miami Heat in this series because there's just something about this team. Like the Knicks should have advantages all over the floor. When you look at their size, Robinson got in foul trouble, or Mitchell Robinson, their center Julius Randle being back. It's pretty much Bam and no one else inside. And then you have these dudes scrambling. They're throwing a zone out there occasionally. And that's just something about this Heat team. Everything we say about Jimmy Butler, well, this whole team just oozes that.
Yep. There's something about that organization, the grit, the confidence, there's a little bit of a clutch gene in there, don't you think? Like it's just a big time show up gene. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I guess that's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
and it's what you're saying. It's a game where the Heat lost. but I just continue to gain so much respect for that team and organization for what they're able to do. Because the Knicks, it felt like they should have walked away from the Heat in the second half, and yet they had to lock in, go on a big run to close that game in the fourth quarter. And as you said, this is what we're getting. Like, all these teams can win these series, and it's not shocking. It's not a big-time upset. This is where we're at right now in the second-round playoffs. Every single one of these teams is good enough to be playing to go to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, and it's crazy. You made the point yesterday. I mean, you've got everything from a 1 seed to an 8 seed and everything in between, and you can make an argument for every one of them. Never had that before. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, all the way through to 8. Every seed line is represented in the second round of the NBA playoffs. Never had that before. It's but here we go. All right, this was no surprise. Early in the day, the NBA announced the most valuable player. It was Joel Embiid. He had 73 of the 100 first-place votes. Nikola Jokic, the two-time defending MVP, was second with 15 of them. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 12, and then Jason Tatum finished fourth in the voting. And then actually Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was fifth. This is right. This is no surprise. Like, this was one of the most anticlimactic MVPs in a long time, which is fine. It almost should be that way, don't you think? But it's a big deal for him, and I know this is something that he's wanted. There's been so much chatter over the last couple of years that he should have been it when Jokic won it. I disagree with that chatter, but right, people have their backers. This was the right answer.
And it still goes to show you that in a league that is about stretching the floor, in a league that loves the three-point shot, big dudes matter. And that is 3 straight NBA MVPs for centers. Now, if you're going to tell me who won the NBA championship last year, yes. And it was that dude, Steph Curry, and the Golden State Warriors. But special forwards matter. Joel Embiid, yeah, he had a season deserving of MVP. And what he and Jokic are doing going back and forth over the last few years, it's been phenomenal. And he's someone that he used that this year. He was vocal about it. His team was vocal about it. You know, they wanted to get him that award. And when they presented it to him last night on TNT, and he was there in his room with his team, you know, that's a solid moment because this guy is one of the best players in the game. And for Joel Embiid, you know, there's, I think, there's been a lot of frustration in his career because they had to wait on the process. They gave him some time. He had to come back from injuries. And, you know, he's proven them right with that selection, and I hope that he can get right to get on the floor in the postseason to back it up.
I think the evolution of the big man is over the last, let's just say 20 years, right? The big man used to be back to the basket, low block offense. The big man might be able to come out to 10, 15 feet and hit a jump shot now and then, right? But when you think of the classical bigs, whether you think of Russell and Chamberlain or Kareem or Shaquille or Hakeem or right, you think of back to the basket, low block bigs. The evolution of the big man is all over the floor, right? You look the way Joel Embiid plays. Look at Anthony Davis loves to play on the perimeter offensively, right? Jokic has a sweet, weird-looking but sweet set shot, right? The evolution of the big man has evolved with the game. So to your point, while the game has been spread the floor, relies so much on the threes, this is where I think that gap was for, I don't know, maybe 10 years where there wasn't such an importance on a big man. But then you realize, wow, when we need a bucket, when we want to go back to the basket, every one of those guys I just mentioned can play with their back to the basket. They all rebound. Right? As Looney had 24 last night. AD had, how many rebounds? 23 rebounds? Mm-hmm. They both had 23, right? I think, to your point, that narrative has changed a number of times over the last couple of decades because I think you're right. It went away from the big guy for a while, but now you realize, damn, if you can get a 7-foot guy like Kevin Durant, who's not a center, but a 7-foot guy who can play like has the ball skills and the shooting skills of somebody 6'3", and all these guys move their game away from the basket but can still go down. That to me furthers the importance of having a skilled big man?
I think the center position has been where we've seen the biggest revolution in basketball.
Yeah.
It was on the wing, and you had these long guys that became ball handlers. And there's been wing players throughout the history of the game. But they're still playing outside in. But I think what we're seeing is the talent of these big guys. And there's been every era has a guy that could have played in a different era that was
no doubt
ahead of his time. But with the best big men in basketball, they're doing more than anyone else, as what you just laid out. Because it went from, all right, you're a big dude, get in that post, score at the rim, let's go. And then you kind of had this stretch era that Dirk Nowitzki comes in and shows, oh, y'all can shoot the basketball. And then some guys fell in love with that, didn't play inside. And now the best in the game do absolutely everything. And I think that's where we've seen the biggest evolution of a single position of a single player, is that you got these dudes. Jokic can shoot the basketball. He can pass the basketball. He can rebound. Embiid can play inside out. He's got a good jumper defensively. Like, they're doing more than anyone else. And it's just insane that the biggest guys on the floor, you're comfortable with them holding that basketball at the top of the key, making decisions.
It never was that way, right? And even in college basketball, it's barely evolved that way. If a team's got a good center, I mean, how many times you watch teams urge Josiah Alec or Morris Udeze to shoot, right? Mm-hmm. And in the NBA, at the top level, like the next good big guy is Chet Holmgren, right? He was the number 1 overall pick last year, was he not?
And Chet Holmgren's that dude that is lengthy. He's going to play inside out. The number 1 overall pick this year, that 7'5" kid coming out of France.
Yeah.
So
they can all shoot. All right, when we come back, you talked a lot. Maybe what you should have said is goodbye, because they just told you to hit the bricks or the brooks. They told you goodbye. Keep talking and you're out. That's coming up when we come back, and why it was the right move for the number 2 seed in the West to get rid of their disruptor and make no bones about it. Just got a alert from my Ring camera, my security camera. Yep, IPS was just by the house. Just came by this morning to make sure everything's okay. That's what they do. IPS, International Protective Service. It is affordable private security. I've used them for years to watch after my home. I know many of you do as well. Homes, businesses all over Albuquerque utilize IPS because property crime has been on the rise, and because the officer shortage continues to be an issue, and because response time isn't always great. IPS responds to alarms within 5 to 7 minutes. They do checks every day on your home. If you're out of town, they'll pick up newspapers, mail, roll the garbage cans to the curb and back. Just give your home that lived-in look. They protect what you have worked so hard to build. Look, don't let the bad guys come in and just destroy what you've worked on. I heard a story the other day. I've told you the story of my house when the garage door was open, and IPS was making sure that they didn't leave until somebody came down and closed the garage door in the middle of the night. I heard the same kind of story from somebody the other day. They knocked on the door, middle of the night, came by, and your garage door's open. I'm pretty sure you didn't mean to do it. They're looking out for you. Call them and see what they can do for you with highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols committed to our city and to your protection. International Protective Services number is 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
32-year-old Randall Cobb has signed with the Jets. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, and A-Marie. So you know why? Let me give you an example of why I'm really not good at fantasy football, J.J.
You drafted Randall Cobb?
No. I that keeper league, you know, where I get to keep 6 dudes and it's a salary cap, and I got Garrett Wilson last year at the end of the draft for $1, so I could keep him, and then I released him like mid-season when it wasn't working, and I needed I needed a receiver to whatever, and remember when he was hurt for like 2 games. I'm like, I'll release him, nobody will get him. Yeah, about that. That was really not bright. All right, speaking of released, they told him to hit the bricks, or hit the bricks. Memphis Grizzlies are done dealing with the distraction that is Dylan Brooks. And yesterday, they basically said there is no situation in which he will return to the Memphis Grizzlies. They will not re-sign him. The general manager made it very clear that they're going different ways, that there will be a different approach from the team. he said, and this was really interesting. Their general manager is a guy named Zach Kleiman, and he basically said there's a line there, right? At the same time, he says you can talk, but there's a line. Quote, I'll hit on Dylan Brooks another day. Nothing I can comment on for now with him getting into free agency, end quote. So we wouldn't go there. But this is very clear that dude, A, was a distraction, and B, didn't play all that damn well. And they're pinning this, and they had enough distractions now with John Morant on, I don't know, JJ sabbatical. What the hell was? What do you call the John Morant time away from the team after? It was a suspension. I guess they did suspend him for a short time, but it was longer than a suspension. He went to to Florida to that.
And clean yourself up in 3 days, Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean, he kind of thought he did.
But you needed to play basketball.
And then they ran into the Lakers, right? Then they ran into a mature team and tried to do this bully villain talking garbage mess that just flat out blew up in their face. Zero surprise, right, that they get rid of Dylan Brooks?
Yes, and he's the easy scapegoat in this, and there's a lot more going on with Memphis that they have to figure out. But he's the dude that right now we don't need that. Because it's one thing to talk your talk, but you walk your walk right out that door. And for Dylan Brooks, the fact he didn't face any of it. Like, he avoided media after the fact. He tried to blame it on the media. All right, you wanted to go after LeBron James, and you did it in multiple ways in that series, but then you got to eat it. You can't just walk away from it and act like it never happened. And then when your team loses, when you're struggling, you become the face of, this is what we're changing in Memphis. And it totally had the feel of like, all right, kids, this is your opportunity. Make the right decision. And they didn't. And then the parents had to come in and say, all right, now you got to listen to us.
Where does this guy fit? Like he's an NBA player. He's not a star. I don't even think he's
the NBA rotation player.
Okay, but who wants that mess? How many of him are there?
There's probably not going to be well, every team makes the playoffs, it feels like. Someone's probably pick up Dylan Brooks on a minimum. He'll be on a roster, but it will be like, yeah, you're not needed to talk at this point in time, Dylan.
Right. I just don't understand why I would bring that into my locker room. Like honestly, why would I bring that in?
And it's one that Dylan, his agent, whatever connections he has, would probably wind up a team you're not even thinking about.
Yeah.
You still need to fill rosters, still need guys available. But it's a harsh reality, man. You wanted to be out there, chirping, poking bears, this or that, and while you're not the number one problem, you were one of the problems, and Memphis is throwing you on the sword.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's go to the phones. And Speech, I believe, is there. Good morning, Speech. How you living?
Hey, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Hey, I wanted to ask you, how is that automatic umpire working in AAA?
Oh, wow. All right. Well, I think it's working fine because I don't hear anything about it. JJ, I mean, the robo umpire strike zone thing, I mean, I hear nothing about it, so it must be working pretty well.
I think it's doing its job.
Yeah.
Especially,
I don't
like when you go to an Isotopes game, and I like the fact that you can see it on the scoreboard too. So the call is made, and you see, oh, all right, it was outside the zone. On to the next pitch.
Yeah. So I think Speech are probably going to see it in the big leagues because all these rule changes, all these adjustments, all between the pitch clock and everything else, they test in the minor leagues. I'm going to guess if not next year, within 2 years, you'll probably see it in the big leagues. So, but yeah, it feels like it's going okay because nobody's talking about it, and if nobody's talking about officiating and umpiring and the way games are adjudicated, then I think it's probably doing its job.
It's working. It's doing
Yeah.
what it is intended to do.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate the call. Speech called at 505-246-0610, and you can do the same. I was at a game last week or the last homestand where I did see a couple of guys a couple of times arguing with the umpire, and umpire just kind of shrugged, like, "What do you want me to do, bro? Go yell at the robot." It takes a lot off of the umpire's plate, I imagine, right? I don't notice any difference, and I thought I would. And I don't know what the hell I thought I would notice, but I don't know. Watching the game, the umpire's still there. There's no delay. He's automatically calling a strike or calling a ball, and it's taken out of his lap, right? He's getting the communication from the robot, and it's telling him whether or not it's a ball or it's a strike, and I mean, it's black and white at that point.
And they're still calling balls and strikes in other series. Like they'll have the challenging effect where there's no automated ball strike zone, and the umpire is calling balls and strikes himself. And then
I don't know that. Explain that to me.
Well, that's been happening too the last few years. It's not 100% automated ball strikes.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct.
So is it random games?
Well, the series that you're going into, what is in place.
I did not know that. So maybe that was a series where the umpire was actually calling balls and strikes then. That I did not know. All right, when we come back, speaking of balls and strikes, dude didn't give up a hit. A rookie. 2 rookies go at each other yesterday in the big leagues. Dude didn't give up a hit, but he didn't get a no-hitter. Why? I hate this trend. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Channel.
Sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are
JJ, I don't expect anybody to know the names of the pitchers in the Mariners and A's game last night, right? Two rookies. You didn't. I mean, I'm going to guess you did. Had you heard of whether it was Mason Miller or Bryce Miller? Did you know either one of them?
Bryce Miller just got called up from AA Arkansas.
Right.
Injuries
So,
in the Mariners rotation.
Yeah, so he was making his big league debut. So a guy named Mason Miller was another rookie. He was pitching for Oakland last night and did not give up a hit. How about that for the rookie? Now, he didn't get a no-hitter, JJ. How does that work, Jeff? Well, because after 7 innings he was pulled. He had reached his pitch limit. He had thrown 100 pitches, and in today's day, this is basically pitcher load management, right? We don't let guys throw more than 100 pitches, and I don't know how Mason Miller feels. I haven't been able to find a quote from him anywhere about getting pulled, and I'm sure the rookie's going to say, I'm just happy to be out there, and I pitched well, and I had good stuff. Mariners won the game 2-1. With 1 out in the 8th, the Mariners got their first hit, and they got it. How do you feel about that? At 100 pitches, is 100 pitches too much for a kid working on a no-hitter?
Well, let me tell you what Mason Miller
please.
said after the game. He said, quote, it's definitely disappointing to not be able to finish it, but I know that's kind of on me for having those 4 walks and not being in the zone as much as I should have been early in the game. So I totally understand it, and I'd rather throw many more games this season than lay it all on the line for a game in the beginning of May.
Okay. You know where I am. I just, this is where I don't understand things sometimes, where nutrition and rest and training are so much better than it was in the day. And you used to watch dudes just throw and throw and throw. And it's not like they can't pick up their kids anymore. It's not like, I don't believe back in the 80s, 90s, whenever, that guys were going on the disabled list, now called the injured list, any more than they're going on it now. Dudes could throw innings and complete games. And like, you would never back in the day take a dude out throwing a no-hitter. I get it. I get where we are. Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, I mean, this is his thing, man. We got our 6th inning guy, we got our 7th inning guy, we got our 8th inning guy. And I understand how it's changed, but I don't understand that part of it where training is better, nutrition's better, medicine's better, rest is better. But back in those days, Steve Carlton, Tom Seaver, Don Sutton, all those guys.
But it's not better for pitchers for some reason.
Yeah, I don't understand
because
it.
the evidence is there. Like these dudes are getting Tommy John surgery every other day.
Like
They're going
Armand
on
Martinez. Armand Marcus.
Yeah, they're going on the injured list all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that is a fascinating thing about baseball is what has changed. Now, would you run him out there in the 8th inning, see if you can get a quick inning? Yeah,
I would have. I would have. Just, I mean.
And he starts to run into trouble. You really don't want that dude throwing 140 or 50 pitches.
No. I mean, there's got to be a limit. 100 doesn't feel like the limit. And I guess it is. I mean, and again, growing up with baseball was my thing, dude. When growing up, I that was the first thing I did every morning. I picked up the LA Times, went to the sports page, went through the box scores, like, and I that's not the one, but one of the things that boggles my mind with all the advances in everything, right? Because everything's better now, right? From training to medicine to recovery to nutrition to treatment, everything, right?
Theoretically.
Well, it is. I mean, it is. Is it because guys are throwing harder? Is it? I mean, like Greg Maddux would throw forever, right? Randy Johnson would throw innings. Don Sutton, Tom Seaver. I mean, these guys gobbled up innings like it was nothing. And like 7 innings was a quality start. Now it's 5, right? Is 5 considered a quality start?
No, it's still 6.
Is it 6? It used to be 7.
6 and 3 and runs or less.
Is that what it is? Okay. I just do they still have to pitch 5 innings to get the victory? The starting pitcher? Yeah. That's the one thing. I would have let him go. I would have let him go. Staying on baseball real quick. That's a blow for the Rockies, don't you think?
No.
With Herman, you don't think so?
They're in last place. It doesn't matter.
So it just doesn't matter, even though it's just May 2nd or 3rd. All right.
You know what the thing about the Colorado Rockies is? They're not even building for the future, man. They got the 4th oldest roster in baseball right now. It's like, what are they doing? What's the point?
They're bad. I feel bad for Bud
on?
Black because I think Bud Black's a good baseball man and probably is a good manager. And he may get fired after this and he has no chance. You know what I mean?
He has no chance.
And I don't just like him because he's an Aztec. I think he's a good guy. Speaking of Aztecs, I know you're going to want to hear this. J.D. Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director, is going to be with us from Scottsdale. It's coming up at 8:30 where the league meetings are going on. Perspective from a guy whose program not only just built a brand new stadium, but went to the Final Four. He's getting things done at San Diego State. And how long will they be in the Mountain West? He's not going to tell you that, I'm certain. But interested to hear what he has to say. That'll be at 8:30 this morning on the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth? We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
For 5 years running, it's the OD in the AM. Come on! With three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Buck.
Well, hoops is the talk, and it's kind of the deal, and it was entertaining last night, was it not? We are in the second round of the NBA playoffs. You got Warriors and Lakers. You got something special to watch, and you had a hell of a game last night. 117-112. Lakers over the Warriors last night. Anthony Davis was dominating with 30 points, 23 rebounds. Did it defensively. Warriors go on a 12-0 run at near the end. Get the game tied, and it was Jordan Poole who had the three-pointer that would have put the Warriors ahead. A deep three is the Lakers did a suffocating job on that possession and double-teamed Steph Curry, forced the ball out of his hands, and Lakers get out of San Francisco, at least for one night, with a win 117-112. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, and A. Marie. The game last night was something because when the Warriors came back, J.J., they scored 12 in a row. The place was rocking. Did you think at that point, okay, they're going to escape this one?
Well, yeah, the momentum swings in a game is the momentum swings that you have watching it as just a fan of the game, of like, oh my gosh, the Lakers are going to throw this game away in the very end. Like, it made no sense to me that you have that double-digit lead in the fourth quarter and you're concerned about the offense and you don't have Jared Vanderbilt on the floor and you're not playing the same defense. So Darvin Ham absolutely almost threw that game away for the Lakers by just allowing that run, not getting the defense back in there until the game was tied at 112, and then LA was able to make a couple back-to-back stops. But what you saw last night was this series in a nutshell. We know the Warriors, it's about pace and space. They need to play in transition. They need to play fast because if they let the Lakers set up, it's going to be a long series because it's how quickly things can change. Yet Steph is fantastic. It did not look like an all-time great last night, and that's going to be a challenge because he can't just score inside like he did against the Kings. And that's how he put up a masterpiece performance in Game 7. He was scoring inside. He was attacking from outside. And how many times did we see Steph go inside, and it was either AD, Jared Vanderbilt, or LeBron James sending that shot in the first row?
Well, and it was one of the last possessions, in fact, that I thought was the key to it, right? Steph got, I think, 4 of those 12 points was in the paint. It was in transition. LeBron tried to chase him down on one. He had the baseline. He had the layup and then a baseline shot. But then he went in and Anthony Davis swatted it, one of his 4 blocks, and kind of put a stop to that whole little run. And it was AD. Look, they did a great job, and they're going to continue to until you know what Golden State's going to need, I firmly believe, and Klay Thompson had 25 points yesterday, but they're going to need like one of those crazy Klay games, like where he goes for 35 and a quarter. Now I don't know that they're going to need that much, but they're going to need, because a game where you have to pay attention to him, a game where Darvin Ham, the Lakers coach, has to make an adjustment, say, all right, we got to call the double team off of Steph because that dude is killing us tonight. And to me, that's what they're going to have to do to soften that thing up.
They
because
hit 21 3-pointers.
I know they did. They had 3 guys hit 6, at least 6. 3 guys hit 6.
I'm right there with. I think Klay. It was good to see him have that 20-plus point game. He's still just 9 of 25 overall, but that's gonna happen, man. And as much as we talk about Steph Curry and his efficiency and his ridiculous efficiency, jump shooters ain't gonna be that efficient constantly, and that's what's been so special about this Warriors run. Like, this series is far from over. I am so impressed with the Lakers, and they have everything to challenge the Warriors, because I know Andrew Wiggins is going to play better, and to me, he's the biggest factor. Because, like, Wiggins, to your point, Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole, even when he's pulling from 28 feet, they're going to have opportunities in this series to make shots, and you're like, well, they kind of did. They took 53 3-point shots.
I know.
But that's what's going to hurt them, is if they're stuck just being jump shooters this whole time. There's one guy I know that's going to be consistent, and that's Steph Curry. And if the rest of them have to sit there and take jump shots all series, it's not going to go their way.
Yeah, and if consistent, look, you talk about efficiency. I mean, Curry, for as great as he is, 10 of 24 is not bad. 6 of 13 from 3-point line. Here's why I don't hate, and then we're going to go to the phones at 505-246-0610. Here's why I don't hate the final 3 by Jordan Poole as much as you do. They had 2 timeouts, and I understand it. And the Lakers weren't letting Steph get that shot. Would I rather Klay Thompson take it? Yeah, I would. JJ, Jordan Poole was 6 of 11 from 3-point line. Now, that was a deep, deep 3. But it's not like he hadn't made them all night. Like, I don't hate him taking that shot. Would I rather Steph Curry take it? But they weren't letting him take that shot. They were barely letting him get out of the damn corner. Right?
He had 2 timeouts, and when he got doubled, Steph made the right play.
He got it to Draymond.
But there was also 12 seconds left.
I understand. So what you're saying is they should have called him out and drawn something up for Steph?
Steph, Klay Thompson, Wiggins, or even getting Jordan Poole a better shot than that.
Okay. But it was a wide open look. It was a deep 3. I don't love it, but I don't hate it nearly as much as you do. Dude was 6 of 11 from 3. It's not like he can't make that shot. But I mean, you hate it because it doesn't go, and I get it. And you hated it in the moment. Yeah, you hate it in the moment. I understand that. Yeah. 505-246-0610. Let's go. Edward, good morning to you. You're on The Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Top of the morning to you. Welcome to the month of May. Well, you blink your eyes and you're in freaking month 5 of the year.
I know, man.
Hey, I listened intently to your interview yesterday with the University of New Mexico athletic director. I think it was Mr. Nunez is his name.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah. I thought that he was very insightful, and I think that he made some good points about the Mountain West Conference being well positioned. And by the way, let me just switch gears real quick. When you talk about mid-major and high major, I completely agree with JJ. I don't think people care. Honestly, it's very absolute. Either you're in the Power 5 or you're out, right? So it doesn't mean you can't be successful. And what you do is you do what San Diego State did. You go in there and smash them, and you beat them, and you make your run. I think the Mountain West, by way of getting 4 teams the last couple of years into the NCAA, they're very well positioned in basketball. But football runs the show. And I don't believe the Mountain West is well positioned for football. I think they can get there, but now that they've expanded the playoff, everybody has an opportunity. But if you want to be financially viable, get your football programs in order, and that's where you're going to make the biggest gains. And I'm really looking forward to hearing the San Diego State commissioner here in the next half hour. Regarding the NBA, Steph is amazing. And I remember watching an interview with Glenn Rice, and Glenn Rice was deep into his career, and Glenn Rice was the former University of Michigan player, won the national title, 6'8", was an amazing shooter. And during the interview, he said, I think I can get to a point where I can perfect the jump shot. We're seeing a guy right now that has perfected the jump shot. Steph has memorized muscle memory from release points all over the court. And I'm not joking when I say I think there's times where he doesn't really have to look at the rim and can be at a spot and have a release point, and it's just amazing to watch. The Lakers had a 14-point lead with 5.5 minutes to go, and it evaporated in 4 possessions.
Yep.
And maybe they should have lost that game, right? That's how much the game has changed, and that's how impactful Steph Curry has changed the game. It's amazing to watch. Regarding LeBron, what we saw last night, and another point that I agree with JJ, this is right now AD's team. And what I mean by that is he's the focal point. I think the wrong comparison during LeBron's career has been to Michael Jordan. He's a hybrid of Michael Jordan, but he's just a better version of Magic Johnson who could score more. And what you saw last night was the comfort level of him trying to facilitate and let someone else be the focal point of the offense, which coincidentally, over a 20-year career, he just happens to be the leading scorer in the history of the NBA. Right. That's the magnificence of LeBron James, like him or hate him, right? But I think what you're seeing is, I think that what you saw last night is what LeBron wants to do. He wants to facilitate and let somebody else be the focal point. And at this point in his career, and we'll see where it plays out. Now, I'll be critical of LeBron. In his last 37 three-point attempts, he's made 6 of them. So if LeBron dials in his jumper, that's one more thing that you got to contend with. But this series is going to be fascinating, and I'm all in on it. I think that Jokic is such a unique talent moving on to Denver. Do I think he could have won the 3rd straight MVP? Yes. I think that the team they're playing right now, the Suns, have no answer for him. And I think that what he does is it's magnificent on the floor. And I think that the Nuggets, they might actually sweep the Suns. And once again, Chris Paul, he's going to wear down. It's unfortunate to see injuries, but every year it happens. And he's pretty much out for the series. So anyway, I appreciate you letting me share my thoughts. You guys have a delightful week.
It's an interesting point, JJ. And I thought of this in the past, and I might have even said it. LeBron's game is more. Now, we're comparing him because we're saying, we're comparing. When I say we, when I listen to the LeBron-Michael conversations, it's always, who's the greatest player of all time, right? But he's not wrong, and I think I've said this before. LeBron's game is more like Magic's game than it was Michael's game because of his size, because the ball's always in his hand, because Magic was a 6'9" point guard who was a distributor. He's absolutely not wrong when is his game more like Magic's or Michael's, but that's never been the conversation. It's who's, at least the conversation I've heard, it's always who's the best player.
Yeah, and I think when you look at LeBron, it's magnified that's who he has to be at 38 now too. Is he can have his moments and you see him inside, he can get the basketball, he's scoring at the rim, he can still do that. But this is much more to me like he is the Dwayne Wade. When he went to Miami, eventually he took over, and it was LeBron James. He's the MVP. This is all right. LeBron's still going to be a factor. He's the leader. He can still make plays, but now he is the number 2 because there is no one that can match and or stop Anthony Davis when he is locked in like that.
I guess I just need to see it on a consistent basis. If AD plays every game in this series and plays every game well, you're going to sway me. I'm not convinced that he could be that guy. To be the number 1, he's got to be that guy, and we'll see. All right, stick with us. At 8:30, you're going to want to hear John David Wicker. JD is the athletic director at San Diego State. He's in Scottsdale. That's where the Mountain West meetings are. We're going to talk to him about their run, how they did it, what it meant for the university, and his thoughts on conference realignment, whatever he's able to share. That's going to be at 8:30 this morning. Hey, Marie, are you up
I
here?
have to tell you about
Yeah,
377 Brewery. It's on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, and I want to tell you about their Sunday brunch that's happening every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. A lot of life events are coming up. Mother's Day, graduation parties, weddings, a lot of life events are going on. Why not plan a brunch? And 377 Brewery is the perfect place to have a brunch. They have a beautiful event space, a beautiful patio that you can sit on. And the best part about their brunch is they have an amazing menu, almost 100% scratch kitchen, from huevos rancheros to pancakes, big breakfast burritos, chicken fried steak, and my favorite, the biscuits and gravy. They also have a build your own Bloody Mary and mimosa bar, which means you pick your own champagne, choice of fruit, and choice of juice. And with the Bloody Mary, it's choice of vodka or tequila, choice of seasoning toppings, and hot sauces. 377 Brewery is amazing. It's family friendly. It's pet friendly. Plan your life event there today. Again, it's on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, or check them out at 377brewery.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth? We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company. Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of
Text line's open. The phone line's open, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Spent a lot of time talking about the NBA this morning. Text line says, JJ, we're talking about the evolution of the big man. And Aaron says, it all started with Luke Longley and Phil Jackson. Says, wish I could call this morning. Obviously not the threes, but the outside big man is what he's talking about. This one says, how about the free throw disparity in the Laker game last night? Lakers shot 29 free throws, and the Warriors shot 6. I guess I hadn't seen that.
I don't happen to take 53 three-point shots.
Yeah, you're not getting to the rim, and you're not getting fouled. I just kind of the way it is.
Isn't that wild? You look at a box score,
yeah,
and you just I don't know how many people think, of the number of attempts in a game or what there is. 106 shot attempts for the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean that's their pace, and they play accelerated possessions, and there's there's nothing in the rule book that says that you need to even out the foul calls, that you need to even out the free throw attempts. I know we sit here. To me, there's two stats that I think sometimes are so in sports that are so overvalued. One of them is time of possession in football, right? We look at football games. What was the time of possession? And they had, okay, but what if they're scoring on 4 plays and you're grinding out and running, a 14-play drive and you get a field goal and then they hit you with a home run and then you get the ball. Time of possession means usually very little to me. And then that one, fouls and free throw disparity, because it's styles, right? I hear all the time, you've called 8 fouls on us and only 2 on them. Well, tell your dudes to stop hacking. Like, there's nothing that says I've got to even out the foul calls because I called one on them. I got to call one on you. That one always blows my mind.
Oh, you're right. It's a jump shooting team versus a team that was going inside.
Yeah. I've never gotten it. All right. The email machine is open as well. Again, it's Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. A lot of it's on the NIL topic, and I know so many of you are really vested in that. And we're going to get into that a little bit with J.D. Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director, coming up here in 10 minutes. And a lot of it's on local baseball and stuff. So I'll hit these a little bit later. But if you want to keep them coming, do that. I will get to them today. I will get to it. Good win for local baseball last night, beating the Aggies. It's always good to beat the Aggies, right?
Yes, it is. Keep the momentum going.
Yeah, good win for them last night. Did you see Trevor Bauer pitched yesterday? The former Dodger pitcher Trevor Bauer, who had that trial, right? That whole crazy lawsuit with the woman, and then he was. But did they acquit him? Did they drop the case? Whatever. He didn't. He wasn't found. It wasn't even a guilty thing. It was a civil suit. And now he's pitching in Japan because the Dodgers released him and nobody else would pick him up. So Trevor Bauer pitched 7 innings in Yokohama, Japan yesterday. Allowed 1 run, struck out 9. JJ threw 98 pitches against Hiroshima. And they got a win last night. I guess I didn't even know he was in Japan. He's been so out of sight, out of mind for me that I just totally forgot about him.
They're treating him like a superstar.
Yeah, no, they loved him over there. Yeah, he got the biggest ovation, and it was a big deal. Does he end up back in the bigs? I mean, you tell me all the time if a guy can perform. And this is a weird one.
I can see him making his way back.
High profile
even with no
team
team signing him right now.
Yeah.
But you see him out there pitching.
Yep.
Put some time and distance between it, and Bauer was never charged with the crime.
That's
And a
right.
California judge found the woman's claims misleading.
Well, I mean, he claimed that everything that happened was consensual, and she came back a number of times, and I think that's kind of, when I read through that whole, I didn't read the whole damn thing because there was so much of it, but read through it. I mean, I think that's where the judge went, because she continued to voluntarily come back for more encounters, and he's like, obviously this was consent. It's a weird deal, but yeah, I didn't even know he was in Japan. Did you?
I knew that. But.
Okay, I just didn't. When I saw his name show up on the blotter today, I'd be like, "Holy smoke!" Not the blotter. The the blotter kind of gives it a total different connotation, doesn't it? Especially with that
Pop up in the headlines.
When it popped up in the headlines. All right, what was your take on the Knicks yesterday? 111-105. They win. I'm going to tell you my take coming out of that is, damn, the Heat without Jimmy Butler had a chance to win in Madison Square Garden and go up 2-0. I know it's not a win, but I feel better about the team who lost last night than the team who won.
I'm right there with you. And it's because once you found out Jimmy Butler was out, it's like, all right, this should be the Knicks' night. They should handle this game. They should pull away in the second half. Julius Randle back in the lineup. You expect Jalen Brunson about it's back. And, well, thank you for showing up, Jalen Brunson, because he had a huge second half and they needed it. They trailed by 6 midway through the fourth quarter. And I really like what we're getting out of the Knicks. RJ Barrett's been good. But it's one you sit there and go, there's moments in series. And they won the game. But they shouldn't have needed a big fourth quarter run to beat this Heat team. And whatever we talk about Jimmy Butler and his playoff performance, his clutch mentality, this Heat team just has that. Like even with Jimmy Butler off the floor, they still ooze the same solidness mentality. Because going through that starting lineup last night, outside of Bam Adebayo, and when Kyle Lowry comes off the bench, you're like, they're really going to do this with Gabe Vincent and Max Strus and Caleb Martin, and yes, they almost did.
Gabe Vincent had 21 and Caleb Martin had 22, and they damn near pulled off that game at Madison Square Garden. All right, when we return, he has led the charge in building a brand new stadium. He is in charge of the program that is the first ever Mountain West Conference team to get to an elite, to an Elite Eight and to a Final Four and to a championship game. And in an ever-evolving world of college athletics, he's right there in the center of it. San Diego State's athletic director, J.D. Wicker, will be with us when we come back. We'll talk to him about the state of his program, just reaction of riding the high of getting to the Final Four, and his thoughts on realignment. That's coming up next as the Mountain West Conference spring meetings continue in Scottsdale. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed. Is that one right through the gap in right center? Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, LaCueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As LaCueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one sent on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the LaCueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this.
Spring meetings continue in Scottsdale. Mountain West is there, the Pac-12 and Big 12 as well. And this is where they're solving all the world's problems, of course, right? Figuring everything out. Look, there's so many, there's all kinds of issues. And I told you yesterday, I've been coming out to Scottsdale for these meetings for probably 15, 18 years. And some years there's a lot of nervousness, and this year there's a pretty good vibe around the Mountain West. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. We'll get back to your phone calls coming up in a little bit. J.D. Wicker took over as the athletic director at San Diego State in 2016, and he's done an insanely good job at Montezuma Mesa. Amongst other things, oversaw the project of building Snapdragon Stadium, their beautiful state-of-the-art facility down there in Mission Valley, and leading the charge on that whole expansion of Campus West. And, of course, San Diego State just made that run to the Final Four. J.D. Wicker, the athletic director at San Diego State, joins us this morning. You're on with Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. J.D. and J.D. I got J.J. and J.D. J.D., great to see you yesterday. Thanks for the time. How you living?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Appreciate the time, and it's a beautiful morning in Scottsdale, so all's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. Hey, congratulations on all the success. And we've spent so much time in our market talking about what San Diego State did because being a member of this conference, this fan base was watching with obviously great interest. Did you get to enjoy it? Have you sat back and realized, dang, that was fun, here's what happened, or was it a whole lot of work and you were just engulfed in it?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a run. It was a long month of really, exciting opportunities. I think it's starting to sink in a little bit, but in the moment, there was just so much to do from a planning process, and the city of San Diego and the fan base showed up in Houston, so that created a lot of work trying to get people settled there, and take care of the team and make sure they had everything. But it was definitely a magical run and something that we're proud of doing for the Mountain West Conference and showing everybody in our conference, hey, you can get there as well. And what it meant to the institution as a whole, just from brand exposure, has been amazing.
Yeah, that's where I want to go. And there's a reason institutions of higher education sponsor athletics, and I think this is the prime example. And Eddie Nunez was on with us yesterday. He gave us some obscene number of, I guess you did a value on what the exposure would have cost you if you did it. What have you seen in the immediate over the last month in regards to what it's done for the university as a whole, not just athletics?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a problem with applications for the institution as a whole. We're over 100,000, generally on a year. Where it's going to help us this year is the number of students who say yes to that acceptance letter that's already out. But nationally, people recognize us now. Our president was in New York and D.C. Right after the Final Four, and she's like, every meeting I was in, people are like, oh my God, the run that San Diego State went on was amazing. Enjoyed watching it, was cheering for you. And she's like, when I travel east, people don't talk like that normally. So just the fact that 14 million people watch San Diego State play in that championship game, and I think the number Eddie probably shared, just the week of the Final Four, not including the Elite Eight and the Sweet 16, $201 million worth of value of basically free brand enhancement and exposure for the institution, which is, you can't buy that. I mean, that's unlike anything this institution's ever had.
Yeah, and it was great branding. And you talk about application. I couldn't get in now, JD. I mean, I loved my San Diego State experience, but I couldn't get in anymore. He's JD Wicker, the athletic director at San Diego State, with us on The Sports Animal.
Oh, JD, San Diego State has backed it up. Your athletic programs across the board have been putting in work. But how can the Mountain West capitalize on this? How does the conference build off of what you were able to do?
I think you continue to invest in your sports. You saw basketball was really good this year, and while we saw some guys leave the league in the transfer portal, there's guys coming back in. We have good coaches in the league, so you just got to keep competing. You got to win games in the non-conference, and that's what helped elevate everybody this year. So there's that opportunity, investing in the product. And then, from a football standpoint, as a league, we were down last year. But the previous year, we had a really good year. We've got to get more consistent with those major sports, on a yearly basis, having, a regular number of teams at the top competing.
In that football conversation with the college football playoff expansion, the theory out there, there is an opportunity for a team from the Mountain West to potentially make it in there. What do you need to see from those schools? And you made that investment as an institution. You have a new awesome stadium out there. How do you take those steps forward when it comes to football?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to invest, whether that's and things are changing a little bit. Obviously, NIL is a new wrinkle in what we do, so figuring out that NIL piece. But, you've got to have facilities, you've got to have good coaches, good support personnel, and that's not just in the weight room, but that's, your athletic medicine, your academic folks as well, so that you can really, wrap your arms around your student athlete. Nutrition and mental health are big right now too, so it's finding those dollars to invest and then, supporting the student athletes while you're there, and you'll just see it continue to get better.
J.D. Wicker is the athletic director at San Diego State. He's with us on the opening drive this morning. You talk about facilities, an attractive market. You talk about success. And so your program has been the center name in regards to realignment in whether it's Pac-12, Big 12, Mountain West, all that stuff. I'm not asking you for the answer, but I know you ask the question all the time, and for our audience, it's obviously been a big topic because it's a Mountain West audience. How do you address the question? Realignment, where San Diego State is. Obviously, you're taking phone calls and you're listening.
Yeah, I think the good thing for us is you go all the way back to Viejas Arena, and the institution, chose to start making investments in athletics, and you can track all the way back to Steve Fisher and Viejas, And then when Jim Sturt got hired in 2010, you had Brady Hoke, and then, Albuquerque favorite Rocky Long came in, and just they elevated football, and we kept investing in, football, basketball, and the rest of our sports, and we won. It doesn't hurt that we're in Southern California and in San Diego, a great television market, a lot of recruiting and all of that, but we've continued to invest in our sports, and obviously Snapdragon really sends a signal that we're going to invest in football, which, that's really important, that you've got to invest in football as you look at, conference distributions and things like that are driven so much by football. So you package all of that together, and San Diego State has become, an attractive institution and one that's been successful on the field, and we're 7-4 against the Pac-12 since 2016. Yep. Men's basketball obviously just made that run, so we're also competitive at the highest level.
How are you addressing NIL and everybody I talk to and all these things, it's NIL and portal, and I think you had the success probably with a different NIL model than many have had, and it sounds like it may have to evolve. But as you go through this, and you've got players in the portal, and you've got players who are trying to figure out what's going on, even with all the success you've had, how do you stay on top of it, stay up with it, and whoever they are who's going to have to wrap their arms around this, how do we get control of it and keep it in a relatively even playing field?
I think the biggest thing is getting a national law so that we don't have, 30 different states with 30 different laws. And then, and hopefully that gives the NCAA some comfort to go ahead and let's pass some rules around NIL and, just get a little more control of it, get a little more control of what the collective may be and what they're doing. And then you've got to go out and you've got to recruit kids that are, your cultural fit. Not every kid needs a massive NIL deal. A lot of kids look at culture. A lot of kids look at, can you get me to the league? What's the coaching going to be? Am I going to have a chance to be successful? So you've got to find the kids that fit the model that you've got. We've done a good job with the collective in basketball. We're still working through, football and the rest of our sports and what that looks like. So it'll be evolving for some time, but until we get a national law, it's going to be really hard to probably piece together anything specifically.
JD, do you feel that the discussions have been productive in those regards? Because I know initially there was like the collectives, the schools, they're two separate things. They can't have communication, but it feels like, talking with people at these institutions, they would like a little more input just to help the student athlete, just so they can be on the same page and make sure they're going in the right direction. Are there productive conversations in those regards?
Yeah, I think members of Congress, there are members of Congress that are interested in what's going on and, how to make it better for the student athlete. I think that's one thing we get a bad rap on, that people think we want kids there to win games, but you look at all the services that we provide our student athletes, they have a really great experience, for the most part at our institutions, and getting a degree that's going to set them up for, the rest of their lives. So, yeah, we want to make sure that they're not getting into agreements that, are bad for them. We want to make sure that, they're doing all the things, paying taxes and all these different pieces so that they can, when they graduate and leave our institution, they can be successful and they've learned something. We were at a meeting last week and there was a TCU football player and a K-State football player. They're like, one of the great things about the collective business in NIL is we're better prepared going into, the NFL draft and what that's going to mean for us and how we handle, contracts and what we look at, and we just understand it better. So that's one of the positive benefits of NIL is these kids are getting a little real world business experience to help set them up later in life.
Yeah. JD, I said at the beginning, I thought the vibe at this meeting was good. And, it feels like whether you're going to be in this league long term or not, when you look at the future of the Mountain West, do you feel good about where it's going? To me, it feels like you've got innovative athletic directors. I don't know the presidents all. I know yours. I know a few. But it feels like there's athletic directors who are thinking the right way, understand that while changes aren't permanent, change is, and they're adapting. It feels like they get along. They're pulling, for the most part, on the same end of the rope. You've got a new commissioner. Am I correct in feeling the vibe's right, and this league is positioned to be in a really good spot, if not a quote-unquote power conference, the best of the group of five?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Gloria Navarro is coming in and has done a great job. It's a breath of fresh air. Craig Thompson did an amazing job for us and left the league and really, in a very good place in the ecosystem. And now Gloria is coming in and kind of putting her stamp on it. It's a great athletic director room. And like you said, definitely innovative thinkers. Think the world of Eddie Nunez and the job he's done there in Albuquerque. And he was the right man at the right time, and looking forward to the league. And we've got schools that have been making investments, and you look at the successes that we've had in football and basketball, and then across the board, this league is still going to be, no matter what the makeup is, over the next couple of years, still going to be at the top of the group of five or that next level conference, and have the chance to be in the college football playoff. Has a chance to make a deep run in March where, the most eyeballs are at.
Yeah. When are you going to take some time, for crying out loud, to enjoy that run you were on? Just to sit back, give yourself a day, a weekend to just go, holy smokes, look what we did. You need to do that, JD, for crying out loud.
Yeah. No, we've still got, I tell people we've still got a couple more aircraft carriers that we need to land, just related to some things we've talked about. And then, we've got one more important deal to get done with Snapdragon Stadium, and we'll have accomplished what we wanted to with the stadium before we can open a year. But we've got Jimmy Buffett Saturday night. We have the Chili Peppers a week from Saturday. So we've got some fun stuff coming up at Snapdragon, but hopefully this summer I'll find a little time to get away.
Do that. It was a great run. I had such a blast with it, and this audience. I don't run from where I'm from, and everybody knows I'm a San Diego State grad, and so the run. I played fan for a little while and enjoyed it, and I know so many of my old buddies did, and alumni everywhere, and I know that you've been getting so much thanks for it, but congratulations on the run. It's always great to see you. Enjoyed the conversation last night and appreciate you spending a few minutes with us today. Good luck as you go forward on this.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Jeff, JJ. Appreciate the time, and hope y'all have a...
Be well. It's J.D. Wicker. And JJ, San Diego State wasn't always what San Diego State is right now, right?
Nope.
Been a long time that program was kind of like that sleeping giant, and he's done an amazing job. All right, there was a number of things in there regarding expansion, what it does for the school. I want to get into a few things that he said. You can respond now at 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The Sports Animal.
Opening drive continues on the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. I'm in Scottsdale, Mountain West Conference meetings, Pac-12 meetings, Big 12 meetings. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with J.D. Wicker. So, J.J., we asked him a question. I don't expect that J.D. was going to tell us what's going on because I don't know that he knows exactly. But I thought he answered, that pretty appropriately. We put ourselves in a position where our institution is attractive, right? He said we've been successful competitively. We've got brand new, beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities, obviously an attractive destination, a television market that people want. And he didn't say it, but so they're answering the phone, right?
You have to. You still have to keep things running. You have to keep the lights on. You still have to be funding scholarships, travel, all the other stuff that happens outside of the collective for a university to function. And if a conference with bigger television deals, more money comes to the table, you go. Same
like
goes
anything
for
else, man.
any team in this league if they had that opportunity.
Yeah, and UNM would do it in a heartbeat, and Colorado State would do it in a heartbeat, and that you're just trying to be the best you can be. And the other thing I think he said at the end, and this is, I am getting this vibe. Now, nobody's going to tell you. It's kind of like going to media day, right? Everybody's worked hard. Everybody's recruited well. Everybody's got a great staff, right? Everybody's optimistic. But I don't know that I could sit here and tell you that in all the years I've been doing this and coming to these meetings, that the vibe that the majority of people thought the league was in a good place. I think they understand where they are and where they're not, right? I think they understand what, there's the power or the autonomous 5 leagues, and the resources there are different. But I also think that unanimously they feel that they're in a position to make this the premier group of 5 league, and it's interesting because. And I wish you were here for this, because I'd love for you to just kind of have conversations with some of these athletic directors. They're really smart people, men and women. And I think Gloria Navarez, and JD said it, I think she's the right leader for right now.
Yeah, you still got to keep pushing forward. The Mountain West has a lot of things that are really good. Basketball is going to be good. It's can they find some more consistency in football, and that's what he was addressing.
Yeah. All right, we're going to reset the NBA when we come back. 505-246-0610. There's some NFL news for you today. Aaron Rodgers has a familiar receiver, and a big name arrested. At least a big name. I don't know if it's a big bite personality, but a big name that got arrested this morning. I'll get you up on that as well. It's the opening drive. I'm in Scottsdale. JJ Amory back in downtown Boracay. I'll be back in there tomorrow. Is that all right? Can I come back tomorrow?
Of course.
All right. Just want to make sure. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Bond.
Well, the headline is going to say Mahomes arrested on aggravated sexual battery, and you're going to go, whoa. And I guess the headline's not wrong. It's a big name, but JJ it's not that Mahomes. It's his brother. But holy smokes. Good morning to you. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A. Marie. Jackson Mahomes is the brother of Kansas City Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes, arrested this morning on an aggravated sexual battery charge from an incident in a restaurant in February. So evidently he's a TikTok star. I'm not familiar with his work. Are you guys familiar? Do you follow Jackson Mahomes?
No.
Amory?
You're coming to me. I don't follow Jackson Mahomes. I just the whole Jackson Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes, Brittany Mahomes. I know that a lot of people troll them on social media, and they're just I don't follow them because I
all right.
find them
Brittany Brittany is Patrick's wife. Is that correct?
Yeah, and him and Jackson used to get trouble for all the TikToks and all the stuff they would do on social media. They calmed it down last season, though.
All right, so here's the story on the brother. So Jackson is 22. Booked this morning. He's being held on a $100,000 bond, set to be arraigned this afternoon. It is sexual battery. That is the charge. Now, evidently, he was in a restaurant. He shoved a waiter and forcibly kissed the female owner of this restaurant. Her name is Aspen Vaughn. She told the Kansas City Star, the newspaper there, that Mahomes grabbed her by the throat and forcibly kissed her at least twice. Her quote, this is the owner of the restaurant, the alleged victim. He forcibly kissed me out of nowhere, and I'm telling him, pushing him off, saying, "What are you doing?" And then he proceeded to do it 2 more times, where the last time I was pushing him off, and I can see on the cameras that somebody was outside the office door, and I was yelling for them to come help because he's big and massive, end quote. Jackson Mahomes' lawyers have denied it. Quote from the lawyer Brandon Davies, "Jackson has done nothing wrong. Our investigation has revealed substantial evidence refuting the claims of Jackson's accuser, including the statements of several witnesses. We have reached out to law enforcement to provide the fruit of our investigation so that they may have a complete picture of the matter," end quote. And Brittany, who is Patrick Mahomes' wife, this is where it's just getting more bizarre. So Patrick Mahomes' wife came out and said, quote, "They are ignorant." She's talking about the people who criticize Jackson. "He is human, just trying to live his life and find his way. And until you walk a day in his shoes, you have no right to say bleep about him. So it's best to shut up," end quote.
I'm telling you, it's a really weird dynamic. They're both very outspoken and just... It's a weird dynamic.
That feels like a comment that's not about this situation, does it?
I hope it's not.
That's like a bad comment.
No means
out there
yeah.
after
That's
that.
a bad, and no means no.
Like,
well,
if
unless
the other stuff, people clowning on Jackson for his TikToks and dancing on the field
when
for
he's
taking advantage of who his brother is.
But this was about this. This is where, and again, I mean, until you've walked in his shoes and you have
this is
right.
where if you're Patrick Mahomes, you'd be like, everyone, do not say a damn thing. Like, don't put anything out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you know, your wife is her own person and she's got her own personality and her own following. And I mean, I don't know. Ask anybody who's got a significant other how it works when you ask your wife to shut up.
No,
Right?
it is different.
Yeah, but when it's talking about a sexual assault and battery, and also I understand she stands up for Jackson Mahomes a lot, but this isn't okay.
Well, I mean, none of these allegations are okay if in fact this is all true. And again, allegations, but
And there's videos. This was like a big thing, like I don't know how long ago, but last season.
well, he
It's
was
just
arrested.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened in February. Evidently,
Yeah, I remember
the alleged
yeah,
incident
and
happened.
the videos came out back then.
So you've seen the video?
Yeah, it was like
All
a viral thing of him forcing himself making out with a girl.
So it's flat out. Okay, I just didn't see it.
I don't know what happened furthermore. No, but it was like a big viral thing. Of course, people were making fun of it, and people give Jackson Mahomes a hard time on social media. But it came out a while ago. I mean, February. Sorry.
Damn. All right. So you're going to hear about that today, but that's kind of everywhere right now. So that's but the headline: Mahomes arrested. Whoa, oh, that guy? I don't even know who that is. And then you
He
start
was at
reading.
the Met Gala. I'm like, what did he do?
All right. Well,
Patrick Mahomes and Brittany.
What did he do? He's Patrick Mahomes' brother. That's what he did. I mean, seriously. What's his talent? What does he do?
He's just like a social media influencer, just known famous person on social media.
God bless him. That's the modern day Paris Hilton, right? I mean,
Yes.
that's what it is, right? You're famous for being
Yeah.
famous.
Correct.
All right. God bless him. If you can make it that way, do it, man. We're all working for a living, and look what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But he was arrested today. All right. NFL stuff. Henry, let's stay on this theme. Yesterday, I'm not sure this surprised me, but it kind of surprised me, JJ, when I saw that Henry Ruggs basically pleaded guilty. And not basically. I mean, he did plead guilty. That Henry Ruggs was the former first-round pick of the Raiders, the receiver, who, not allegedly anymore, now that he's pled guilty, was driving intoxicated at like 156 miles an hour off of the strip and caused an accident that led to the death of a woman. And so he's going in for 3 to 10, which is, I mean, you want to talk about real? You want to talk about a fall from grace? A number 1 overall pick has the world at his feet, and really bad decisions. And this is, I guess I'm surprised that he didn't fight it, because you always fight it, you always do, and I guess the evidence
Nothing
must
to
have been
fight
so. Yeah, there's nothing to fight, right?
You're drunk,
And-
going 150 miles per hour, and killed someone.
And everything's on video, and we've got your blood alcohol from 2 hours later, and it's still 2 times the legal limit. And I mean, there's nowhere to go, right? Were you surprised that they pled? You said, yeah, I did it, or
No.
and not go to trial because there could be a technicality or something.
They know that's nice. Go to trial and get off on a technicality.
Look, I mean, tell me that doesn't ever happen.
Yeah, it happens, but
yeah,
I'm running from this, man.
No, there's no, and it's this is. I mean, I look at it and just go, holy smokes. So that was that, and then the other NFL stuff today. Randall Cobb signs a 1-year deal with the Jets, and so Aaron Rodgers has got his guys. Dude, he's living a life right now, right? He's everywhere. He was on McAfee, all happy yesterday. He was at the Rangers game the other day. Like Aaron Rodgers is
because New York teams are in playoffs.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, yep. But I guess he used to go to the Bucks games, right?
Yeah, he does. He can't. It's nice he doesn't have to claim the Milwaukee Bucks their first round loss to Miami Heat as the number 1 seed. And Aaron Rodgers, him not being in control of this entire situation, I think it's a little fire back under him. When he came out of the darkness and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to retire. I'm in control of my destiny." And Green Bay's like, "Yeah, we're not playing this game with you anymore. Like, we're ready to move on. If you're going to play or not, we'll trade you. Whatever. I want to go to the Jets. Have fun." Because he's out there throwing passes already to his teammates. When was the last time Aaron Rodgers throwing passes in the offseason to teammates?
Yeah. No, he was talking. It was to another 17, first of all, but he was talking about how great Garrett Wilson is and out. I mean, I can't remember the last time, JJ. I mean, like literally, you're right. You figure the change of scenery was going to light something under him. I mean, he look, he's still really good. He's going to be 39, 38. He's still got a great arm. Quarterbacks get better in regards to recognizing what they're doing over time. So I think the more you do anything, you recognize situations, right? You're able to read it, whether you sell insurance, whether you're a banker, whether you're a radio guy, whether you're a quarterback. The more you do it, the more you've seen it, the better you get, right? So he's as good as anybody. Would you say him, Brady, and Manning are the best at just reading defenses and knowing what's coming, like that you've ever seen?
Yes.
Right? I mean, they look at it, they know who the mic is, they know where the blitz is coming from, and they're almost always right. And they almost make the right read. So he's fine there. Physically, I think he's still good. He could have, theoretically, now with the weapons that they're putting together, he could have, statistically, one of his best seasons ever.
Yeah, and I think with Aaron Rodgers, the struggles last year, it was him having that injury. It was him not being as crisp overall with his wide receivers. But it's one that, watching Aaron Rodgers, you didn't get this feeling like, oh, he's just old and he can't make those throws anymore. He can't make those plays anymore. And I think you're going to see a really successful season from the Jets and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. All right, come on in today, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I'm going to get you some of your correspondence. You've been sending emails to Jeff at sportsoutablabq.com, JJ at sportsoutablabq.com. The text line's popping at 505-246-0610. So I'll get you that stuff. When we come back, what did you think of the shot at the end of the game? Jordan Poole, who hit 6 3-pointers, takes the decisive shot, not Steph Curry. Give the credit to the Lakers. It's the opening drive as the Lakers take a 1-0 lead on the Warriors on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Jim Rowe.
Mitch, there's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there as La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get one run back. That one hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if...
The Sports Animal.
All right, hoops tonight, Sixers and Celtics, and a report came out this morning that the Celtics will have to face Joel Embiid, or at least it looks like that. The Sixers should have him back. Yesterday named most valuable player in the National Basketball Association. He missed game 1 with a sprained LCL in his right knee. But ESPN has confirmed that he is expected to play. He went through the team's workout this morning, their shoot-around, and hell, JJ, they stole game 1 without him on the road, and now get him back. I mean, Celtics, I don't want to tell you must win, but it's a kind of got to win game tonight.
Kind of got to win game for the Celtics.
They go down 2-0 and lose them both at home, and then you get like look out. I mean, make your case. You said
Boston's
earlier.
got too much of a coast mentality at times.
I think that's right. I
For how good
explain
they-
that because I think that's right.
It's they let the Hawks hang around far too long in that first round series. It's game 1, and you know there's going to be a push from Philadelphia. You know that's coming. But that's a game you got to go out there and jump on them early. Joel Embiid is out. The knee is still going to be a bit of a question. But then James Harden goes out for 45. Tip of the cap to James Harden, but it's another missed opportunity for the Celtics team. And that's why there's just been kind of the buzz throughout the season. Is Jaylen Brown all in? Do they trust him? Does he trust the Celtics? And you look at this roster and like, guys, you are or should be the most dangerous team in the Eastern Conference. And it's not looking like it right now.
No, 100%. I think I kind of felt Milwaukee did that in the first round, and they coasted to a point where they couldn't get back, right? They thought that they were going to get through the 8th seed in Miami, and they rested Giannis an extra game, and they were never able to recover. And I kind of get that weird feeling. If they lose tonight, I don't see a way Boston wins a series. If they drop the first 2 at home and one of them without Embiid, how are you going to tell me Philly's going to lose a series?
And especially if Embiid is as confident as he can be. Like in that need, he's able to make the plays. There's not a worry. Then that's a problem for Boston.
Yeah, I think that's right. All right. Last night, Knicks rebound at home. They beat the Heat 111-105. That series is even, 1 game apiece in the East. And in San Francisco, Lakers went into Chase Center and beat the Warriors 117-112. Anthony Davis 30-23. LeBron had 22-11. Curry 27 for the Warriors. Klay Thompson 25. In fact, Curry, Klay Thompson, and Jordan Poole each had at least 6 3-pointers for the Warriors. But they lose the game. Came down to the end. Warriors go on a 12-0 run. Steph's getting loose. A lot of it was in transition. Comes down to about 12 seconds to go. Lakers trap Steph Curry in the corner. He gets it to Draymond. Draymond gets it to Jordan Poole. Poole launches a long, deep 3. Warriors had 2 timeouts left. Jordan Poole was, what did I tell you, 6 for 11? Is that what the numbers were from three-pointer during the game? I don't love the shot, but I know a lot of people hate it. JJ, you said you hated it the second it left his fingertips because they had 2 timeouts, and you would have rather seen them call timeout and draw something up for A, Steph, but B, you'd rather Klay take that shot, even though Poole hit 6 out of 11?
Yeah, here let's go on the topic tree with this one because Steph made the right play, double team right at half court, get it out of his hands, got it to Dre, found Jordan Poole. And when you're talking about the Warriors needing to play in transition, well, that's your transition shot. You got them before they're able to set up your defense. That's understandable. But you have, when the ball left Curry's hands, there's still 12 seconds left. And that shot went up about 9.5 seconds left on the clock for Jordan Poole. It was ridiculously deep, and I know he's made some three-point shots, but he ain't that dude. The fact that you had timeouts left, the fact you could have set something up for another shooter. But then also there's the fact, well, you just gave this dude $160 million in the offseason. You got to trust him to be able to make that play. And so it's one of the ones where all the different layers to it, it's right there. But my immediate reaction sitting there watching that was, oh, no.
And you still feel that way, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Even if you would have made it, it would have been after. You go, oh, my gosh, that's an unbelievable shot. But it's an oh, no moment for me.
All right. The Warriors and Steve Kerr, their coach, are standing by the attempt, and they have to. They have to say all the right things. Steve Kerr's quote, and he's their coach, said, "I thought Jordan did a really good job. I have the timeout stuff. I saw them double teaming Steph at half court. So I knew somebody was going to be wide open if we could just get the ball out, and Steph did a great job. He got the ball out of the trap. Jordan was wide open, a pretty good look, and, that's a shot he can hit, end quote. 21 points for Jordan Poole, 7 of 15 shooting, 6-11 from three-point land. So whether he believes it or not, he had to say that, right? I mean, you can't say, the ball just ended up in the hands of our young guy, and that's what we got. I mean, you have to say we've got confidence in him. I think they believe it. I do. And again, it's not a guy who was Russell Westbrook shooting, right? It's not a guy who was 2 of 13. He was, at that point, 6 of 10. Right? He was 6 of 10 from three-point. It was a deep three. I would have liked to see him, and he had plenty of time, JJ. He could have taken a dribble and stepped into it. He could have gotten 4 feet closer. I don't know if he thought there was less time.
Golden State, like my initial reaction to it, like I understand, Steve Kerr, you're seeing that play out, and as the dude's getting ready to take a shot, you're not going to start trying to chase an official down the call timeout at that point. You see the ball reverse the sides of the floor, get away from the double team, get to the open shooter, a guy that you have on the floor for that reason. So I'm fine with the explanation of it. I just didn't like the initial shot for me. And, if you gave that dude $160 million in the offseason, he's got to be on the floor to hit some of those shots.
Yeah, and that's where I just don't hate it. I like I told you, I'm not sure I love it. I'm not sure that would have been my preference. But, I mean, I don't know. It's better him than Draymond. Right.
Yeah. And it's also you start playing the what if game. Right? So if you do take a timeout, it allows the Lakers to set up, and even LA at that point in time, they could play the foul game. Instead of allowing a shot to go up to tie the game, extend the game, then you're putting both teams at the free throw line. So there's so much that can go into it, as opposed to you get that shot up. It's a decent look at that point in time for a guy that's made a ton of 3-pointers in a game. Even from that distance, you still have to trust him. And I get it. If you're Golden State, you're not like, oh my gosh, that was the worst thing that could have happened. Like they handled, like Steph handled the double team when it came at him. Dre moved the ball, and he got a shot up. At least you were not Grayson Allen Euro stepping through the lane as time expired.
And running out of time, and your season ends, for crying out loud. Yeah. I just, what are we doing? Yeah, no, they like. This is one of those, I think of moments throughout basketball where superstars were forced to give up the ball, right? And there's a guy, and I don't know that this would have played into it in the moment. I'm going to guess the answer is no. Steve Kerr played on the Bulls, right? He won championships with the Bulls and the Spurs. There is a really famous game in the finals where Michael Jordan had the ball forced out of his hands, game-winning shot, and found Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr hit the shot, right? It's not always going to be Jordan, Kobe, LeBron making the shot. How many big shots did Robert Horry make to win games for the Lakers? Derek Fisher hit big shot. Ask Spurs fan about Derek Fisher hitting a shot. It's not always the Steph Currys, the LeBron Jameses, the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordans. History is just littered with dudes who hit big shots, whether it was John Paxson or Steve Kerr or Robert Horry or Derek Fisher, or go down the line, man. And that would have been one of those moments, right? Now, he didn't make the shot, and I don't know if it would have been a moment because it wasn't the finals. But my point is, the defense did its job and forced the ball out of the super. What do we hear all the time? I'm not letting that guy beat me. If we get beat, it's not going to be by Steph Curry. It's not going to be by LeBron James. That's what the Lakers did last night, right?
Yeah,
Darvin Ham said he's not freaking beating us.
That's fine, but I also look at it. There's so much time left, and that's what you get.
I get it.
Like I think I would feel a lot differently if that shot went up with like 3
at
seconds
the buzzer.
left.
Yeah.
When you have that time to even pump fake, get the ball, reverse back to the other side of the floor. There's still 10 seconds left to where that was the game.
They were even at that point. Was it tied or were they down?
They were down by 3.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I don't know that down by 3, they were going to run it all the way down, because if they miss, then they can get another chance. I I don't love it, JJ. I don't. I'm not mad. Like I can't sit here and say you're totally wrong. They should have. No. Like there's different theories on this. The shot falls, and all of a sudden we're having a different conversation. But I just think of throughout history, there's been guys like Jordan Poole who have made that shot, and one of those guys is his head coach and Steve Kerr. Yeah, I know.
He had so much space. I'm just watching that. Like the dude flew past him after he released the ball.
Well, he could have taken 2 dribbles, and instead of a 28-footer, made it a 24-footer. And I mean, I don't know if that makes any difference or not.
It does.
I think so too.
Like
No, I
that's
think
just
so,
like
too.
me. There's just like it's not the final shot of the game. Like if it went up and you're like, oh, there's nothing else you could do, that's fine. But you're settling for a Steph shot.
There's part of me that wonders if he lost track of time. Like, I got to shoot it now, right? If he just thought the urgency was much more severe than it actually was. Because when I go back, and I know you're looking at it over and over again, when I go back and look at it, I see him kind of rushing into it. And I wonder if he realized he had as much time.
And it's fascinating watching because this is absolutely 50-50. Like people are like, dude, that's what the Warriors do. It's Jordan Poole. That's not a bad shot. And there's other people that I think just kind of taking in all the factors of time left versus timeouts versus the space that he had to get himself a better 3-point shot.
It could have been better. I just, like I said, I don't love it, but I don't hate it like you and a lot of other people do. I just, he's one of those guys, man. I mean, he's grown into that role of trust. He hit, at that point, was 6 of 10 from 3-point land. Like, you're going to tell me a guy who's shooting 60%? I don't hate my odds.
He
missed a shot. I know, dude.
It's short and to the left.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, a little transfer portal stuff.
Fuck it. It's Jordan Poole time.
There's a former Lobo running back, came in highly touted, hit the transfer portal last year. He's back in the transfer portal. Who is he? Why? And now what? Because he doesn't have another free transfer. We'll talk about that when we come back. Summertime's coming quickly. That means travel time, road trip time. You're going to take the family on a vacation. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing before you go and get your vehicle ready. Before the kids are out of school, before you start those summer trips, get your car, your van, your truck, get it ready. On the Spot's going to come to you and detail your vehicle. When it's convenient for you, where it's convenient for you, your ride will look and feel and smell brand new and ready for those family vacations. So what does this mean? People ask me, really? So they come out and you don't have to take your car anywhere? I don't have time. You don't need time. In fact, this is made for people like us who don't have time. I don't know where On the Spot is. They know where my office is. And so while I'm working, they're out in the parking lot working. I get a text, I go outside, and everybody's staring at it going, I want that. Well, you can have it. Ask them about a fresh coat of wax or ceramic coating for extra protection as well. Our military always gets a 10% discount. Schedule now On the Spot Automotive Detailing, 505-859-2859. Area code 505-859-2859, or go online and do it at otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional
0.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
He signed with Lobo Football out of El Paso. He was a really good high school running back down in El Paso. Came to UNM as a freshman, played a little bit, transferred, back in the portal. Good morning to you. Opening drive continues on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. JJ, I don't know if you saw this. Aaron Dumas was a guy that there was a whole lot of hype and a lot of excitement about when he signed with UNM and played football. Was I think he had a decent freshman year. I wouldn't say great. Transferred, went to the University of Washington, and I looked through their stats, and I don't see him anywhere, and he is back in the portal. Here's the issue, though. JJ, he's already used his free transfer, and so if he does transfer, he's going to have to sit out a year. Now, I've been hearing he may try. He's going to petition the NCAA for a waiver. I've been hearing, like mental health kind of stuff or whatever, and I don't know if this is going to be an interesting case if he does try to get a waiver, because this is going to be one where is the NCAA going to stick to their guns and say, look, you get your one free transfer, but you this is where they're trying to not have dudes move every single year. Now, I know some people say they should. But I don't know what your thoughts were. I don't even know if you knew Aaron Dumas was back in the portal.
This is one where
as a player, if there is stuff going on, I hope there's documents or people that can vouch for him, because then you don't want people then just start take advantage of that, citing mental health just because then it puts people in those real life situations, in those serious situations, in a tough spot if it's a boy who cried wolf deal. So that's the big key to me, is if there's things to back it up, if there's a legitimate reason, then NCAA should listen to that. And when it comes to these second transfers, that's when you should have people have looking at cases, because there's got to be something where these dudes just can't be at 4 schools in 4 years.
Yeah, I think
that's not even good for the person or player themselves.
What is it?
If they 4 schools in 4 years, just bouncing around, like that's just. And so if there's a legitimate reason there, hopefully there's some people to back it up and help with the situation, and then the right decision is made. But you just, I don't want people to start throwing mental health out there because they know no one's going to question it, and they can use it as a get out of jail free card, and then it ends up affecting the people that have serious situations.
Yeah, it just can't be abused. It's got to be taken into consideration. It's got to be considered, but it's. I'm with you. I think we have the same sentiment on that. All right, let me get you some of your correspondence. The emails came in, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. This one's from Richard, JJ. It's about your Rockies. It says, JJ's Rocks. Jeff, what happened to that honcho that was on the broadcast a couple Saturdays ago that said help is on the way, especially defensively? Last couple of recruiting classes were great, and JJ's organization won at every level last year except for AAA and Major League Baseball. I don't know. Who's the honcho? But every year when we talk to Rockies people, right, they tell us how much better things are going to be, and they're turning things around. They got beat last night again, right?
No, they won.
Oh, the Ice Did?
Oh, the Ice
yeah. No, the Rockies won.
The Ice lost.
Yeah, I don't know when it's getting better. I really don't. This one's from Dan. It says Lobo Soccer and NIL. Jeffrey Juan Jose Ianabaria. There are a lot of people that don't like the NIL. I'm starting to hear them cry that if there is enough money to pay players, then why can't that dough be used to bring back Lobo men's soccer? How much is that going to hurt Lobo basketball or football? Or are those the same folks that weren't going to the games anyway? It's from Dan. Dan, I don't know. I mean, who's crying it, and I don't know. It's please don't. This, if I tell you a fact, is it disrespectful? Like Lobo soccer, men's soccer, there's no immediate plans for it to come back. NIL money is completely different than institutional money that would be to bring back a soccer program. NIL money is money that is going to the student athletes directly into their pocket, not to bring back a program. And let's just use your situation and say that happened. Then you're behind on NIL. If you took all that money for NIL and said, all right, we're not going to pay the players, we're not giving it to the players, we're bringing back men's soccer, and everybody else in college athletics is getting money to the student athletes, where do you think that puts you?
Well, there was a sports speak up the other day because the Journal did an article on Jeremy Fishbein and his story and the road that he was on, doing a soccer academy in India and coming back. And there's a sports speak up saying, oh, look at that we had a coach that didn't need NIL to keep players around. Maybe they should bring back soccer because those players cared and stayed. And like, that's such a misguided comment because it wasn't a thing then.
I mean,
it's a weird way to throw your anger out there in such a false statement that doesn't make any sense. You're trying to make a huge point. Your sports speak up, you're like, yeah, I got it now. And it's like, there's no point there because it wasn't a thing when those players were here.
Right.
And staying around.
There's no validity.
There's no point to your statement. And so I think that's probably where some of that came from and what you just read.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I did not see that. I saw the story on Jeremy, and I think what Jeremy's doing is great. And Jeremy's found something that's worked really well for him. And actually, I've always liked Jeremy Fishbein. And I think the program that he had was great. And it's like what happened. Nobody wins in that. Nobody's pounding their chest saying, "Look, we got rid of soccer." But those of you who are, well, let's bring back soccer and get rid of football, people, that's not happening either. Like, you can make all the noise you want. And if you think the NIL money should be taken away from NIL, first of all, the money wouldn't be there. Okay,
No, it's
people
two
are
different
giving. Yeah, you just need to understand the two different buckets.
And that small minority, by the way, that screams
Yeah.
about soccer.
Yeah, never went to a game.
Never went to a game, and you're supporting a women's team that's winning championships yet? No, you just like to hide behind, oh, we're soccer everything. Give us a stadium, give us that, give us that. Look, we're filling it up, but you don't support anything across the board, so you can take your sentiment and shove it.
And that's coming from a guy who supported soccer more than anybody in this community for the last 2 decades. I mean, that's JJ Buck. So I think you're dead on. I think people love to scream and love to, I told you this, or we got cheated this, or I've just got to complain about something. But to your point on, I didn't hear that sports speak up. That is, excuse me, so totally misguided, because NIL wasn't a thing then. And as far as now, well, the money's there. Let's use it to bring back soccer. No, it's two totally different buckets. And if you were using that money for soccer, it wouldn't be there. Why? Because the collective people are giving to the collective specifically for the purposes of NIL, to keep student athletes, to take care of the student athletes. And if you said, hey, give us some money for the collective so we can bring back men's soccer, there might be a couple bucks there, but I promise you it wouldn't be the money that's there now. We'll finish up these thoughts. I'm going to get you what you need to know as you hit the water cooler and move on with your day as we wrap up the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Wrangler. It's Wrangler season out.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter. 5.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, here's what people are going to be talking about as you roll around work and around town today. They're going to be talking about the Lakers' victory over the Warriors last night, 117-112. Anthony Davis was dominant, 30 points, 23 rebounds, 4 blocks. As the Warriors make a 12-0 run late to tie the game, Jordan Poole took a three-point shot that people are going to be talking about. Was it the right shot? I don't hate it. JJ does. I'm okay with it. It didn't go. People are going to be talking about Jackson Mahomes, the brother of Patrick Mahomes. He was arrested today, held on a $100,000 bond. Sexual battery is the charge. Forcibly kissing a restaurant owner and shoving a wait staff person. So people will be talking about that. And you might have heard that Josiah Allick decided where he's going to play. We didn't get into this on the transfer portal, but Josiah's going back home. He's a Nebraska kid. His sister's there, and the now former Lobo is going to play in the Big Ten and play basketball at Nebraska.
And that one makes sense to everybody. Like when he did announce, all signs pointed back to the Cornhuskers. He went on that visit to San Diego State, made things a little bit interesting, added some fuel to the fire about the transfer portal, that rivalry between the Aztecs and Lobos. But going back home to Nebraska, that feels like that was his ultimate goal, is somehow, some way play basketball for Nebraska.
Well, he's going to play. Yeah, and he's going to play in the Big Ten. Now, for probably, I mean, I don't know, JJ, is that the worst basketball program in the Big Ten? It is, right? Northwestern, but Northwestern made strides. They were in the tournament this year. Wouldn't you say that's the worst program?
Yeah, Northwestern is very far ahead of Nebraska.
Yeah. But he gets to play. He's going to go home, and he gets that opportunity. So that's I think people were just a little uncomfortable when he was making that visit to San Diego State. It looked like he might go there. So Bourne said the natives are getting restless. This is Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com is where my emails are coming in. Jeff, there was someone sitting by me at the ballpark last night that kept chanting mediocrity. By the way, why did Lobo Baseball schedule a Rio Grande rivalry game last night at the same time? Where the heck did that just go? Hold on. At the same time that Isotopes are playing? Wasn't that the entire point of them getting their own facility? It's for Bourne. Yeah, it's them getting their own facility so they could schedule whatever they want, not be slaves to when the Isotopes are playing. JJ, sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I wonder if the questions are real. and Bourne, I'm pleased to take that in the vein it's intended. Like, if you look at college baseball, they play league series over the weekend, and then they play a midweek game on Tuesday. It's kind of how it goes, right? And when would you have preferred they played that?
Well,
that
even
game?
with an Isotopes game going on, the people that are going to Lobo baseball, there's not going to be, a huge issue of, oh my gosh, now there's nowhere to park. How are we going to get all these people to Lobo baseball and all these people to an Isotopes game?
What do you think the crossover?
Like they can function at the same time.
What do you think the crossover is? Lobo baseball fan, Isotopes fan. I guess there's a little bit, wouldn't you say?
Sure, there is.
And so, if you were going to a game last night, and you had to decide, do I want to go see the Lobos and Aggies, or do I want to go see Isotopes? I mean, look, this is inarguable, and I don't think anybody's going to be offended. Is it more comfortable? Is it a better experience to sit in a seat at Isotopes Park and with all the amenities and the food that they've got, as opposed to grandstands and on a bleacher at Lobo or at Santa Ana Field? No, I mean, if you're just saying where do you want to go experience a baseball game, but if you're saying, look, I go to a bunch of Isotopes games, but I want to see the Lobos play the Aggies, you had your opportunity. Look, Bourne, this town's big enough to support more than one event at a time. I mean, it just is. We've gotten to that point where we are big enough to support more than one event at a time. And that, yes, that's 100% the point of them getting their own field. So they don't have to schedule around the Isotopes. Maurice says, Space Cowboys 14, baseball team 3. Jeff, funny how those OD phone lines light up like a Christmas tree with coaches after a big win, but after last night, silence. Not sure what that means. Does that mean they lost last night so nobody wants to talk? I mean, I imagine. All right, give me tonight, Philly and Boston. Who you liking?
Celtics bounce back.
Yeah, I felt too.
Even with Embiid back.
Yep.
Interesting.
They gotta.
Sure. Well, they kind of gotta, right?
Kind of gotta win game.
They kind of gotta.
It's a
They have
kind of
to.
gotta. All right, I'll go the other way. I'll say Philly takes control. I'll do that. If you get a chance, get out to Santa Ana Pueblo and Twin Warriors. It's the final day. Have you watched any of the Golf Channel's coverage of the PGA Club Pro Championship out at Santa Ana Star or at Twin Warriors?
Of course.
It's so good. Like the coverage is so good. The scenics are so good. It's amazing, dude. When people come out here, and hey, Marie, I know you get a lot of people that just kind of come out and look around, and when they've never been here, the colors, the mountains, people just love it. And that's what people have been doing with the golf course out there, and just looking at the mountains and looking at this place and how much they love it. So it's been pretty special. All right. What else? Did I miss anything today? I'm looking down my list. Kind of hit on everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm back in the studio tomorrow.
Back in the saddle.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Safe travels.
Appreciate that. And thank you to J.D. Wicker. John David Wicker was with us today. He's San Diego State's athletic director. If you missed it, Marie, are we putting that up?
It's already up.
Available? All right, so that's available for you. Go grab that and listen at your convenience. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd follows that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4 o'clock, and then Isotopes and Space Cowboys after that. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work on the visual side. Marie, terrific job. I know
you.
this is a little challenge when I'm on the road.
All good.
But appreciate you. JJ, big day?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.